Alright, and hello everybody, I'm TheSweeper27 and welcome to another Dokkan Battle video. Before we get started, please go down below this video and make sure that you are subscribed. We're trying to hit 100 subscribers by the end of the worldwide download celebration. Thank you. So this video is a little bit different. Originally, I was going to record a bunch of attempts at the ZAMASU Red Zone, fast forward through all of them, and then when I actually got a winning run, I would do post-commentary over that run. Well, I actually got a winning run on my very first try after my initial try through. And I really got to, the reason I won this is purely because of Kai Goku. Now, if you've been watching all my videos, you'll know that I've been calling Kai Goku a fraud at 55%, but I was actually able to get him built up, and there were several points throughout this run that this guy was actually the crucial anchor that I needed him to be. I was able to get him fully built up almost defensively on turn 1. He got a defensive stack almost every single turn. And then the real important thing that this guy brought to the table, showing it here in a second, are his counters. Several times throughout this run, he's able to nullify and counter ZAMASU, saving me hundreds of thousands of damage each turn. I don't even care that that counter did nothing, but because of him saving that extra amount of damage, I was much more able to maneuver certain characters around, and he was really the defensive core that I needed him to be. Now, I am running the GT Duo team here, Battle of Fate and Power of Wishes, which I thought, honestly, would have been a little bit scarier than it ended up being because of Ma Jr. Now, Ma Jr. genuinely is like a top 10 character in the game. It's just, I was afraid of running him in the physical phase, because even when he does a bunch of supers, he can get up to like 800 to a million defense on a turn. But type disadvantage and the ZAMASU launches like a 2-something million attack stat once he's in his physical phase. I was pretty scared. And honestly, I think this first phase, this int phase of ZAMASU, I find it much harder than the physical phase, just because he has the high damage reduction. He attacks so many times, like he does 9 attacks a turn. He has 0 cooldown. He has an AoE. He's basically able to do everything that a boss can do that's super detrimental, except for locking and dodge nullifying. Now, I actually got pretty lucky here on this turn that I was able to give everybody enough to fully build them up. We also will be using the GT Spirit Bomb in a very crucial way later on in the fight. In my initial run through, I fumbled because I didn't GT Spirit Bomb on the turn that I should have, and that's why I didn't win on my initial run throughs. But these guys really did what I needed them to do. I only used the one Whis, I'm pretty sure, in this entire fight, and that's just because this fight is ridiculous out of the gate. I genuinely mean it. Like, turn 1 to turn 4, I think that this is the hardest boss in the game. If you're able to get to that physical phase, I find that you're able to cruise much easier. Like in my initial video, I only made it to Fizz ZAMASU one time, and the one time I did was the time I almost won until I miscounted how many attacks my GT Duo had received, because I thought I would be below 50% HP when I was not. But God Goku, too, is another really good crucial unit that we had throughout this run, because he never sold for us. So I have had bad luck in the past with Kai Goku and God Goku, but they were both able to get their dodges. They were both able to do exactly what I needed them to do. And of course, my offensive core was really like the GT Duo. These guys are the ones who were doing a majority of the damage throughout the fight. But Junior does a lot of damage in there as well. I don't recall if we actually go into his giant form or if we use Ma Junior's active skill. Again, I'm kind of rewatching this with you guys for the first time, because I did this several days ago, and I've just had this footage sitting on my phone waiting to be recorded. Now, here is something else that I really do need to talk about, because this is a bad situation. I was trying to, in my brain, what I was thinking is, I have to save a Whis for the physical phase. I can't afford to Whis right now. So both of these guys, type advantage, and they're both 69%, I believe. The GT boys right there, the Super Saiyan 4s, they got a stack off, while the DBZ Duo did not. And I'm going to eat about 300k damage here, I believe, in total. About 260k. And then right here, another dodge counter and nullification from Kai Goku, which, again, is exactly what I needed to do, saving me hundreds of thousands of damage, getting a little bit of chip on him. And at this point, he's fully built up. Yeah, what was that, 11 million? from this Kai Goku, who is 55%, launching out massive attack stacks like that, 7 million on a 12 key. He really did, like, I'm surprised with how well this Kai Goku did. I've never been able to use him in an event where I thought he was better than Vegeta and Trunks, just because I think Vegeta and Trunks are much more reliable. They don't have to get hit as many times to be good offensively or defensively. Like, I don't know. But this actually really did make me quite like the Kai Goku, and I'm going to heavily reconsider using them in events where I think Vegeta and Trunks may be frauded. I think they are on a very similar power level. Like, I think Vegeta and Trunks, or at least my Vegeta and Trunks, because mine is 79%. I think that they are more consistent, but Kai Goku, if you're actually able to safely build him up and let him get hit like 10 times, he's a god. So now we're into this little sticky situation, and I believe, is this where I do the Spirit Bomb? Now, I wasn't really like trying super hard on this run. I was actually watching Truth run this event on my laptop while I was playing it, and I'm thinking through my brain of, do I want to die this turn or next turn? And looking at the rotation I had next turn, which was both of the duos from the 8-year anniversary and Kai Goku, I have to die on this turn, so I can do explosive amounts of damage and I can actually float off my GT duo. Now, one thing that really made this run go super well is that I wasn't afraid to mix up my main rotations. Almost every turn I'm having a different character as my floater, which I think was ultimately why I won. In these more difficult events, having set rotations, it just doesn't work anymore, I don't think. You can't just have a reliable slot 1 unit, a slot 2 unit, and then have a bunch of floaters. You need to be able to have a team where anybody can fit in any role. That's one reason why I like the ZAMASU team so much, is because Tech merged ZAMASU. He can be a slot 1, 2, or 3 unit. Like, you can honestly float him if you need to. That Int sub-EZA ZAMASU, he can go in slot 1, or he can be a slot 3 floater if you really need him to be. Now, right here is actually pretty important that I put this guy in slot 3. The reason I did that is because I wanted all those other units to have that extra boosted attack, and I wanted to do this so that the GT Spirit Bomb would actually do more damage. Now, I did get pretty nervous here because I almost didn't die on this turn, and that would have been super embarrassing if Vegeta managed to live that turn, and then we would go into this next turn with, like, literally 0 HP. But now here we are, and I was very able to put, or I would safely be able to put the DBZ duo right there into slot 2. So even though that they have the lower defense because they've only gotten a couple of stacks off, and you know they don't have type advantage or anything, the attacks were really are what kind of saved me here at this point in the fight, because I was not afraid of Kai Goku. Kai Goku, I feel like, could eat a super attack and still be a-okay. And then the GT duo in the back, given the fact that I think they're fully built up defensively with their damage reduction, and we would have type advantage, I wouldn't have any doubts in my mind that they could eat a super. It was really the DBZ duo who I would have been afraid of, but no attacks in the middle slot makes, again, that's why I think this physical phase is easier, because he only attacks like 7 times. He doesn't have an AoE. And at this point of the fight, has he even super attacked? Not that I've noticed, I haven't seen him launch a super. So far, at least in this phase. So I think, again, once you're able to get to Fizz ZAMASU, you're able to really start to get that ball rolling, and you're able to just cook. And now these guys are cooking as well. They were doing a lot of damage, which is super crucial. Now, coming into this is the second to last turn, I believe, because on this upcoming turn, I think I'm able to launch the Super Saiyan 4's active skill and get the dub that way. But there are stages to this fight as well. I'll be going back at some point trying to see if I can do that. I'll do those live recording instead of post-commentary. The only reason I did this post-commentary is I thought that this would take several hours, not I would be done in literally my first attempt after my initial. See, right here, that's the first time he's supered, and he only attacks, again, 7 times is what I believe it is. So this fight, while it is very challenging, and I do really, really, really like this event, even you don't need the brand new LRs. I've been seeing people on Twitter say that you need the brand new LRs. You don't. You just got to be able to play smart and work hard. But I'm going to let Present Sweet Bro take it from there. So thank you guys for listening to the post commentary or whatever.
All right. I didn't expect to do this on my very first try doing it again. That's why I didn't do audio, and I was going to do like a big voiceover. But this was first try. So I'm going to... Hold on, we'll transform and we won't play that animation, but we will get the KO with Gogeta. I'm kind of, I'm surprised I did that. Like, that was pretty easy. The second time through, like, I only had to use one Whis. What, I mean, like, whatever. I don't care that I had to use Whis. Most of these characters are 55% or less. I really have to attribute that win to Kai Goku. For once, he wasn't a fraud. I was able to actually build him up defensively enough for him to be my defensive core character. And my rotations were great. Every unit popped off when I needed them to. Let's go. All right. That's the red zone completed. I mean, granted, there are missions. We'll dive back in eventually, I feel sure. Make a video about that. But let's go. As you can see, I beat it right there. So we got tickets, and we now have the Dismal Future support memory, which is all Future Saga category allies, 10 key, or 10% attack and defense, and for 7 turns, 1 key to Trunks and my characters. Let's go. And I guess we can look down at the team and look at what their builds are. So obviously these have like the anniversary equips, full link level 10. For both of the duos, the GT duo and the DBZ duo. I believe these guys have their exclusive skill orbs. Yes, they do. And of course, they're link level 10 as well. Then we got Kai Goku, who for once actually did exactly what I needed him to do. I'm very proud of him. That's character development right there. But as you can see, most of my characters are like 55 to 69%. And with just some good luck, I was able... You have really good equips. I was able to beat it. Let's go. I'm so happy. But that's going to be all for this time, guys. I have been LeeSweeper27. I'm a variety Twitch streamer and an up-and-coming YouTuber trying to make it big in the world. I have a TikTok, a YouTube, and a Twitch, the links of which can all be found in the description of this video. And while you're down there, don't forget to like and subscribe because we're trying to hit 100 subscribers by the end of the worldwide download celebration. So please do your part. And since you're already down there, don't forget to leave me a comment as well, positive, negative, or indifferent. I would love just any sort of interaction I can get from you guys. But that will be all for now. So as always, I have been LeeSweeper27, and I'm signing off.